morning, Big Ed Fishing, RB Bass Fishing fans. April 23rd, I believe it is.
It is April 23rd, yeah.
And today, I got the pleasure of fishing with my buddy Big Ed here. Of course, you guys all know him, but we're here on the beautiful Clearlake. It is springtime. We've got bedding fish, but the condition today that's going to throw a little hitch in it that we're going to help break down for you guys today is we have a storm showing up Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah, it's supposed to bring one that's going to bring snow to elevations like 3,000, 4,000 feet. It's going to drop the barometric pressure down to nothing, but that could be a good thing because a lot of times when that barometric pressure starts to drop, those fish start to eat up.
Yeah. So, well, I think one good thing about it today is we know a lot of those good areas where I want to concentrate on spawning flats, but the ones that have the deep water transition, because a lot of times I've found the history, I've been fishing this lake for decades, but I've lived here for 5 years, and those fish, they make their move quick. So I'm expecting this to push some of them a little deeper. So I think we're going to have them shallow and deep today, but that's all going to be part of what we do today. Just get out there and try to break it down and figure it out while you guys are along for the ride.
Yeah, I think we'll, because we talked about this yesterday a little bit before I came down, and, you know, we're talking about that you're going to have pretty much all three phases going on here. It's just that time of year, and it makes it tough, but you're going to have some post-spawn, you're going to have some pre-spawn, and you're going to have some, you know, definitely some bedding fish. We might see some of those today.
Oh, yeah, I definitely know where a few bed fish are.
Yeah, so we get out there. So we're going to try to pick, you know, which one we kind of think is going to be better, you know, whether it's the pre, the post, or the spawn. But hopefully today we get a little more. I'd like to see some pre-spawn fish because those are usually that pound and a half to 2 pounds heavier than the other ones.
Those big fatties.
Yeah, you know, a couple of those.
Fatty.
Yeah, we got a couple of those today already. So, but yeah, so let's we'll head out today and go see what Clearlake does for us. We should be throwing some, we're going to try some floppers, we're going to try some frogs, we're going to try some flipping some brush hogs, we're going to try just a bunch of different things.
Yeah, I'm going to be throwing everything from glide baits to drop shot.
Yeah, so I mean, we got it all kind of going.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I got 9 rods on the deck. 9
rods there. I got 6 myself, so we're going to go out and see what we can't do and see if we can get some fish. And
I'm going to have to try to force that frog bite a little bit today.
I can't come to Clearlake and not throw a frog, so it is what it is.
But I predict a very, very, very fun day.
Yeah, so we always have that. So if nothing else, today the wind's not supposed to be so bad, so the sound should be great. We're really hoping that everything turns out good. You guys can do this pretty. And this turns out to be a good video. And thanks for coming along. Let's go out and have some fun, and we'll see what we get done.
And always like, share, and subscribe if you haven't yet. We appreciate you guys.
Appreciate you. All right, so there's a little bedfish right here. It's behind us, and now it's behind the camera, and I'm not turning it so you can see it because I just don't want it. But he's not being nice. He's been caught before is what I'm going to go with.
Yeah,
he's being a little bit of an he's a little touch apprehensive.
He's like, oh no, not this again.
Yeah. But we're pretty close. He's looking at my bait already. If I twitch it I twitched it too much and dropped it off the ledge.
Any gentlemen's bets today? First fish, big fish, most fish?
Yeah, we could probably.
Why would I challenge Big Ed? That's just stupid.
We could probably come up with something.
I need to know,
you know what's really
someone to be up here on the front of the boat.
I used to say, what's really funny is he's in one of those positions where there's just a little, you know, there's a stick in the way here. There's a little weed in the way there.
Yeah, this is an area that gets a lot of pressure, but I mean it's one of those areas that just constantly reloads. It's one of those secret community holes. I've got some great history with this spot. I caught an 11-pounder under this dock 2 years ago.
Holy moly!
On a drop shot.
That sounds about like Bob Tyler. That sounds like a Bob Tyler story right there.
I've gotten lucky once or twice in my life.
I've heard, well, you know,
You don't have to be good if you're lucky, right?
I believe one of the first. There we go. There we go. Fish on. It was one of the first. Woo! Get him weighed up, and what do you think? 2.5?
Yeah, probably that.
Clearlake, here we are.
Bob Tyler's secret Clearlake bait. Everybody thinks, like, you throw that big old thing in the spring, yeah, but you get the results. These fish are so healthy and beautiful here on Clearlake. Love them. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you.
What do you know? That?
Woohoo!
Oh, so you throw the full size.
Oh yeah, baby.
I don't have.
But my favorite color up here, I'm gonna go ahead and just give it away. It's the blue crawl, and this
blue
is the
crawl, huh?
the KVD scented. It's got the coffee scent, and, you know, and I truly believe that makes them hold on to it just that second longer. You know, this bait, I didn't even feel that bite. It just started swimming away, and it's your point. Do your little thing. You're good to go. Swing and a miss, baby.
He had it. He was swimming off with it, but he didn't have it. That does leave something. Leaves very little to be desired. There you go. Oh, see that? Do it about a ½ inch off the bed, and he still came over and got it. He's a wary little fun. I mean, catching that fish is it's just fun to do because you're watching what they're doing, you know, and you're seeing. What's funny is he's right on this little ledge, and if you pull the ledge,
you find that sweet spot yet?
oh, yeah, it's called. See,
Right there. Sweet spot.
see, he had it again. and
Sweet
didn't-
spot.
didn't- yeah, so the bed's way up
Oh,
in
yeah.
there.
Yeah, I see you're laying there perfect. Here you go.
There you
Oh, sweet spot. Bam.
Now, what is that? A 2.5 pound fish?
That's fun is what that is.
A 2.5 pound fish
Woo!
right there. And I just, when I set the hook, I just moved that
Right
fish
on.
about 2 feet, 3 feet through the water.
Look how healthy that fish is.
I
Has
mean,
he
yeah,
been
I
caught?
mean, no, that was the
That's
first
round
catch.
one, right on.
That's round one right there. That's why he was a little more aggressive. But I mean,
Beautiful,
such a
healthy
gorgeous
fish,
fish. You can't. Clearlake. I mean, this is a
love this
2
lake.
pound fish, and I mean, he's just it's so beautiful.
love
So-
Love it,
This
love
is
it, love
way better than the first time we tried this. we already got.
You've gotten better, Big Ed.
We already got fish in the box. Well, what's funny is he hit it. He was doing. You saw how he picked it up that time, right? Or the time before.
Oh, yeah, well,
he
you
picks
know.
it up and he swims out with it, and it's like, oh, okay, cool. He picked up, swam out with it, but then he doesn't have the hook. The entire time he doesn't have the hook. This time he had the hook.
You know, they'll pick it up. They're not trying to eat it this time.
No.
They just want it out of their nest, so
Yeah.
they'll pick it up and move it.
They don't want it. They don't want it there,
And that's when you get your chance.
and I want it there.
Yeah.
So.
Good job, my friend.
Now, in between, you recommend we flip some stuff, huh?
Oh, definitely. And like I said, this is a deep water transition, so I mean, we could drop shot out there. You can freaking throw swim baits. You can flip the toolies. It's just you can drag something behind you. There's just endless options. You can just pick your favorite technique and go to work. I mean, I'm throwing a glide bait just because I enjoy the big followers. I mean, when I get this thing up where I can sit, I may have an 8-pounder behind it, and that's very common. It's not like, oh, that good luck if that happens. It happens. It's a ton of fun.
In the spring like this, we're flipping. Now, when you're let me rephrase that and make it into a question, I guess. We're flipping, but what are we flipping for? Are we flipping to just be on a bed? Are we flipping to, are we flipping to get a reaction? Are we flipping because they're there? Or are we just trying to get onto beds and then just kind of work?
All of the above. It's
Okay.
just it's a numbers game. Just 1,000 casts and boom. But that's a lot of times when I get on these flats like this, I'll just fan cast an area because they're there. You got fish coming and you got fish there. So
Okay.
you just I target both. I don't just go around. You'll see guys that are just on their Tullamore, boom, 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 looking for nothing but fish on beds, and they're just forgetting all of this. There's
There's
we're
still
surrounded
there's
by
still fish
They're-
out
They're
there.
here, there, and everywhere, and there's different ways to catch them all. And I mean, rip bait, Let me get my
Well, you're flipping that. You're flipping that.
blue pearl brush
that,
hog.
that brush hog. You're flipping that brush hog, and I'm going to take a page out of Sean Wayman's deal here, and I'm going to flip this little craw bait. Now this is an X Zone craw bait here. Beautiful little bait. I think this is the Okeechobee craw or something. I don't know, something like that. So these are the new. What's this one? This is the adrenaline craw or adrenaline bug. I can never remember it. And then I'm putting this on a little swing head and throwing that thing out there, so it's got a little more action. And then it's got the floating. The biggest thing that X Zone does is they have the floating tails. Those floating tails are very important when you're sitting there and it's on a bed, and all of a sudden these claws start to float up.
That's one of my favorite summer baits right there also.
Yeah.
But yeah, just to prove a point, I'm fan casting this drop shot out here in the deeper water now, and there's a very good chance I'll pick up a buck. Or maybe even a giant.
You might be getting those big.
Yeah, I told you.
That's probably where those pre-spawners are going to sit out there, is in that little deeper water.
And just like what I said earlier, right back there behind that post 2 years ago, I flipped this drop shot in there and caught an 11-pounder.
And that was this time of year, or was it?
Yeah, it was April.
It was April?
April and March are my big fish months here on Clearlake.
Well, and this is that time of year too.
No, I say big fish, that's double D. I catch 8-pounders during the frog bite, and
Yeah.
you get so spoiled up here, that doesn't even,
Yeah.
that's a fish of a lifetime for most people. For us, that's just what we get to do. It's just amazing.
Yeah, Sean and I talked about that a little bit when we were out here. Is that across the country and across everywhere, a lot of lakes you go to, if you catch an 8-pounder or you catch 6 or 7,
Yeah.
I mean that's a fish of a lifetime for a lot of people. But on a lake like Clearlake, places like the Delta, some of the lakes we have in California, we do get so spoiled that we hear oh you caught a 5-pounder. Okay, cool. Yeah, we catch 9 or 10 of those a day.
I won't even take a picture of a 5-pounder.
You will today.
I know. I'm such a snob.
And one of the true, good parts for me for the whole whoops. That was
Going where the fish live, aren't you?
yeah, is being able to come out and fish with all these RV Bass guys that I've come up with this year. Sean Wayman, Wyatt Crow, Greg Bunting, Bob Tyler, Ron Howe.
Ron who?
Yeah, Ron who. Sorry, I got that wrong. I always pronounce it as Howe, but it could be Ron who.
Yeah.
So, it's been a great, great year for me. COVID, whatever. Who cares? It is what it is.
I'll get this up. Here's one of my little springtime tricks on this drop shot. Always go with the shorter leader. The reason that is, especially when you're casting that, I like to cast far away, make a little longer cast, and so you just got to envision when that's out there with that length, you're only about 4 inches off the bottom, and that just basically puts that bait right in their face. And I tell people, it's just like, no matter how full you are, I just contribute this to, like, you just finished dinner, but the wife comes by with a handful of M&Ms. You're going to eat that M&M. You just can't help yourself, no matter how full you are. That's what this drop shot is for these big bass, in my opinion. They just love it. They can't get enough of it. They just can't say no.
Who doesn't like an M&M?
Exactly. See if I can do some river to sea escalator magic here.
Now these are mostly just bucks. They're bucks guarding these beds. The eggs are already there. I can see the egg here. Well, that's a big bed right there. I don't see anybody on it, but that was a...
Well, wait till you see some of the stuff I'm going to take you to today.
Look at the size of that bed.
Whew.
That was not built for a skinny little girl. That was built for... That was built for one of them Midwestern corn-fed girls right there.
That wasn't too sexy for you, was it, Ed?
No, I'm good. I'm not completely aroused.
I don't want to overstimulate you here.
Not completely aroused.
RV Bass, baby.
I'll tell you what, I have no affiliation with anybody on this one, but if you're going to do this, you better have yourself some good shade. These coasters are
yes, sir.
Wicked.
I agree 100%. I agree 100%. There's a reason all the cool kids are wearing them.
Yeah. Well, you know, we're here, it's a Friday right now, and being Friday, it's not exactly, you know, overrun with people. There is a tournament coming up tomorrow, so there will be some pressure today from tree fishers. But yeah, we're gonna be okay. Already got a couple of blocks. So.
You see that red and black bird?
Yeah.
That's why I throw the red and black frogs this time of year.
Yeah.
That's the thing, you're not just mimicking one thing.
Yeah.
You're mimicking frogs, you're mimicking birds. It's not just so many things that they replicate a bass like these.
I do that a lot when I throw brown frogs a lot, and I throw brown frogs for the same reason, and that is that they very, you know, they mimic a mouse, they mimic a bird, they mimic so many different things besides a frog. Mostly it's the silhouette that they see for the frog themselves, but they.
When you were the only person who even had a frog tied on. And got the big fish to the tournament and
Yeah.
took my money. And that's about it then too, as I recall.
That's because nobody believed me that I caught him on a frog in open water. And the best part was it was a smallmouth.
Yeah. The power of the frog, baby, it's real. I mean, I was catching them in November last year on frog.
Yeah, it's a bait that, like you say, it's not just a frog.
It's so versatile.
It's so versatile, and it's just a topwater bait. And a lot of times, if you get it in the right spot at the right time, well, it is a nice 5-pounder.
Yeah.
It's a 5-pounder.
That could be a female.
That's a female that's ready for someone to.
The new wave.
Yeah, wanting to.
Third wave, whatever it is, coming up to looking for a place to do the business.
She wants to come up and spawn, and she's waiting for the right buck to make the right bed, to get the right area to.
See if there's a worthy male up there. Pair up and do it to it.
6 sitting on a bed.
You've been doing this for a while. How big is it?
What's that?
Just started the fishing and playing this game.
A little over 20 years now.
A little over 20 years.
Yeah.
I know when I first started, you were one of the guys I was drawn to. You just always had that big smile on your face and just real approachable and willing to share, you know?
Yeah.
There's a lot of assholes in the bass fishing world, and you were a long way from that.
I try not to be that way. I like to be competitive. I love to compete. I love to do this, but I think everybody should like it, and it shouldn't be something. It's just, you can. Well, that's your bait.
Like you and Ron Howe are rare.
How funny.
Pretty awesome. You guys are both together combined. You're probably giving away more gear than you bought and kept for yourself through the years.
Yeah, I get a lot of stuff.
I got a little 14-year-old granddaughter that likes to go fishing with me once in a while.
Yeah.
We do this and go into stuff like this. She's terrified. She hates spiders.
Just hold there 1 second, Bob.
You got a good one?
Yeah, I got like a.
Right here, boss.
I got like a 3 or 4 that's over here. He's already eaten it twice.
All right, on, get him.
He keeps. I wish I had my hat cam on right now. I'd show you guys this.
Oh! I love your hook, man.
Dang you. He's quick.
Oh boy.
I mean, he don't want it anywhere near his bed. But, boy, I'll tell you what. He is, I mean, he's over. As soon as it hits the water, he's flapping his gums and yelling at me. And
He's yours. Oh, that would cook up like a fat out of hell.
Damn you, sucker. There's one right there, too.
Oh, yeah. They're all over here. Oh, there it is.
This is that one you said was roaming through, but he came up. He just. There he is. That's a good fish. Better fish.
Oh, my friend.
I got him weigh this one. I got to see what he goes. Because I think that's a 3. Nice, a 2. 2.5. But you know what? I want to see what our good fish go today. I want to see what our 5 best win. And I should have done that. Well, I should have weighed those other 2, but I don't.
I left that in. I had 15 pounds.
Well, let's go for 37.
You got it, man.
I see we shoot for 37 pounds today.
I can do that on practice day.
Of course.
I refuse to do it on freaking tournament day, though.
Yeah, it's not worth it.
Well, it's just showing off.
Yeah.
It's not, it's not cool.
You don't need to hurt other people's feelings.
Yeah.
So that's a 235.
Not pretty shy.
I'm a shy guy. I don't like to.
That's one of my downfalls.
I'm just good at it in the sense that I can get out there and do it. I'm actually a very, very quiet. I mean, what do they call that? A recluse for the most part. I'm more than happy sitting on my mountain.
You know what gets me? Is how many freaking tires are in this lake. This is the 4th tire I've seen today. And
Well, this lake, when this...
intentionally putting them in there for habitat? What's the deal?
Well, when this lake was down further, you used to drive their DeSotos through this thing. And those DeSotos, those things would just fall off all the time. Those tires would just fall off, yeah.
See, now it makes sense.
Yeah. They put them in for habitat. The catfish, as you know.
What happened? What happened? You all right?
Yeah, I think I'm okay.
You realize you're on the back of the boat and there comes a point when it's just not cool what you're doing?
You showed me. You taught me how to flip, so I'm flipping. Another little fish on.
Now just flipping up, flipping them.
That's how he gets right there. You start catching fish behind them, they move you out, they slip you back a little further.
That problem. That's an issue I can regret. You know what's interesting? Just like you just proved it right there. These fish, they don't just spawn in front of them. They'll get back in those tulies 2 and 3 feet back in there.
Oh no, it's
Yeah, they'll sneak back in there. Sometimes it's some bigger girls that'll hide back in there too.
Well, what happens is, what I've noticed, I mean, this is an old boat we're fishing here. This, see the boat?
Yeah, it is.
What happens is those bucks will come up and they'll make a bed. Let's say they make a bed out here a little ways. Well, those hens will get up and they want to spawn, but they're not going to sit out here deeper and move up. They're going to come up, get in those tulies, and then they'll move, you know?
Goodness, that one run for like he was going to smoke it.
Well, that's the one I want right there.
Yeah,
It's
that
about a
one's
5.
that one's got big head written all over it.
See, and that's the difference between the delta when you're fishing a moving water estuary like that one, compared to this, is these fish are, they'll stick around in an area.
It's not.
Now, as much as the ones at the delta want to, they want to spawn too, but they're less apt to do it. They'll just wait until you're gone.
Well, I can tell you one thing I have learned living up here on Clearlake is it fishes a lot like the Delta sometimes, and the reason I say that is because these fish have an on and off switch.
Yeah.
And I haven't figured out 100% what triggers them yet, but I mean, you can be in a spot that's just loaded and not get a single bite, and you know they're there, and then all of a sudden they hit that switch and it turns on, and you just 5-10 minutes you just light them up.
Yeah.
And you'd swear that it's a tide, because anybody that fishes that Delta knows that sometimes you just have that 10-minute window where they're going to eat. Well, I run into that a lot here on Clearlake.
Well, I'll tell you what, as much as everybody else says or whatever, I'm betting there's a lot of people right now that wish the tide would come in on this lake.
Oh boy, yeah, this water level. I don't know where we are Rumsey right now, but I know that it's not as bad as the 76, 77 drought, but
Right.
the water level is low. I've got a vacation rental right across from me, and the last two guys that have rented it both hit rock piles around rattlesnakes. So if you come up, it's not the lake that you fished 2 years ago or even a year ago. You got to really exercise caution, and they don't, for some reason, they don't mark these rock piles out here. So you really need to be careful when you come up.
Yeah, things that definitely weren't sticking out of the water or were definitely, or were safe are no longer so safe.
No, sir. You got to really pay attention. Don't take anything for granted.
Oh.
You see something marked with a pile, give it a very wide berth, because there's lots of rock piles around the one that they have marked.
I just got to get the right exact spot. Get him? There you go.
Did I get him? Is that a serious question? Jump on the camera, woohoo!
That's a 3.5 or 4, huh?
I'm gonna break out the RB Bass signature net. Double?
Double.
Get out of here. Yay. Oh, nice little fatty. Right in the top of the beak.
Oh, that's about the same size, huh? Nope, yours is bigger.
Haha, mine's bigger.
Yeah, look at that. Let's see what they weigh.
Look how beautiful they are.
Here, let's pose for that one for the camera real quick. Cool.
See, I want you guys to see the small little hook that I use when I'm drop shotting. I caught that 11 pounder on this little owner hook also. It's just a little owner hook, freaking thin wire, and just the way this thing is, the shape of it, I mean, it'll hold them big fish.
All
2.5 pounder you had?
249, yeah. Right on.
Morning dawn worm.
253.
In clear water like this, I like to throw the morning dawn. When I get into stained water, I'll switch to the margarita mutilator.
So right now we're sitting at just 959. So we're almost at 10 pounds. Oh, yeah, yours. She's swimming off with it.
Too funny.
Gosh, darn it. I can't control the motor, that's what. There we go.
It was gonna happen. Yay! Nice little fatty. Look how beautiful that fish is.
That is a gorgeous fish.
Good job, Mr. Everhart.
That fish gave us,
brother.
she had my bait 3
That was
times,
fun.
she had his bait twice, 3 times. She gave us all the options in the world. I mean, look at that football. I'll tell you what, when you talk about a football, look at the football. That's a football right there.
I think what caught that fish was our superior boat handling skills.
Yeah, it was definitely the. So
That was exceptional.
So that will be, I mean, technically this will be our 5th one. So we'll see what this one gives us overall for our first, what have we been out here for, an hour and a half, 2 hours? So we're sitting at 953 now. No, we're 959 now, and we just put our big fish of the day at 2.60. 2.60 in the box. That puts us at 12 pounds, 12.19. Beautiful little largemouth right there. Thank you much for the tug, lady. So we're at 12.19. Now the bad part is that we're getting our butt kicked by Matt Atkins up at Shasta. Because we're on Clearlake and he's catching 30 pounds up there at Shasta.
But
see him yet?
Yeah, I see. You got his shot. That one?
That little feller there. Woo! Come on.
Good job, Mr. Everhard.
Oh,
Oh, you had her.
there we go.
Right on.
Doesn't help for our. Doesn't help size-wise, but I got her.
Soak it.
Yeah.
That's one, if they come up and just taste it, you got a real good chance to catch them because of the way that bait sets those hooks are down.
Oh, just had one, huh? Oh, just had him right there.
Right on, dude. The first frog bite. Oh, dude! Oh my God! No, just keep trucking. Just do your thing, man. If it was an 8.
Oh,
Oh, dude!
tore my legs off.
Oh my God! What happened? You just got a frog bite? Are you shitting me? Oh my God!
Fish.
Woohoo! I'm happy for you, but I hate you at the same time. Unbelievable. Unreal.
Frogfish, baby, frogfish.
Yes. Aggressive too.
Huh?
Missed it and came back and got it.
Yeah, I watched him come and get it too.
Man, I did too. That was freaking awesome. I hope the GoPro caught that.
I think so, as long as it's on it, did. Please tell me that pulls us up a little bit.
Oh, it's a 3.
3-pounder. 291. 288.
Good job, man. That was freaking awesome. That was awesome, dude. Let me touch it. Wish I could touch a frogfish.
Thanks, buddy.
Went round. Oh, there you go. You got him? Oh, he didn't get him. Froggy pilot. What happened? Brand new reel in my drag smoke here. Wow. Good stuff. Nice. Yay. Frogfish, baby.
Good one, too.
Woohoo! Nice. 4-pounder, baby. There you go, Fishy. Where's he going?
Frogfish!
Yeah.
Wah, 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 wah. All right, let me weigh that sucker.
Ah. He was up there tight, wasn't he?
Right, same place yours was.
Crazy how tight they get to the bank in here in these keys.
Yep. $339. 7.
Pushing forward.
37. Now you know how I operate my boat. Woo!
Froggy fish. Hello, froggy fish. Yay. Woohoo. Little tiny ass buck. Oh, there he is. Nice. actually say something. I just love boards and Clearlake. That one looks like it's got shoulders.
Yeah, this
Yep. Hello, Mr. Froggy Fish.
Hold that side for a second. Look at that.
That didn't look very fun. Look how pretty that fish is.
Ow. Cut him through the bottom lip. We're still filming. There's another frog it is.
Very nice. What? Man. Yeah, I might have to go. Nice, Mr. Everhard. Hey! Woohoo!
That thing's the best. That one's eating it the best so far.
He jammed it, huh?
It is down there. Holy
Right on.
moly, buddy.
Nice. This awesome little freaking buck tearing him up, huh? Did he come off the stair or
Off the stairs.
right on? Right on.
Hey guys, we're all done for the day. Wow, you know,
What a day, what a day.
yeah, it's so much fun. I mean, you know, you always come to Clearlake and you're hoping that you catch a bunch of giant fish. And that would have been super nice to do, you know, go out and catch a bunch of giant fish out here and have a good time that way. And, you know, 35, 40 pounds, man, you know. And
we
it's,
definitely had the good time though. Consistent
Oh.
bite all day long. It was a ton of fun.
I think we ended up with 15 pounds today for our best 5. And, I mean, we got them on bedfish and frogs.
It was not the day I was expecting. I was, in all honesty, when we left out this morning, I thought we were going to have to catch them deep. I was thinking
Yeah.
we were going to have our best bite in 15 to 20 foot of water. And
Oh, yeah.
we stayed shallow all day.
I don't
All
think
day.
we tried fishing 20 feet, you know, with some drop shots and some creature baits, dragging those out deeper. We tried to cover some water that was, you know, deeper water, but for the most part, it ended up being 2 major baits for us, frogs and bed fishing.
We gave those staging fish a good opportunity to show
Right.
themselves in that deep water, and they just never did. And we were having so much fun shallow, we just stayed up there. I mean, when you're seeing a bed fish every 30 yards, it's hard not to just keep playing with them.
Yeah,
Like I
they
said,
were
those
all
giants
they were
were
all in
just
that 2 to 2.5,
so much fun.
yeah, 3 pound range. Now, what you can see behind us is there's a storm. So when we started off this morning, it was about a 1 mile per hour wind. You know, maybe just a little less than that. It was actually quite nice, and it slowly but surely,
Snuck up on us and went to cranking.
yeah, it turned into white caps, and it turned into some gnarly weather out there for
Clear
us.
Lake springtime motion.
Yeah, I mean it was. We ended up coming into the Keys, the southern end Keys.
Wasn't the
Rattlesnake.
worst thing that could have happened. We
No.
got frog bites.
And
Yay!
we got into a frog bite up here, and we started off with a frog bite clear over by Pirates Cove, and we got in there and we did a lot of, you know, it was both. I think mostly what we were doing was throwing frogs over the bedfish, and they were coming up and hitting it. I had got, I
would
think,
agree.
4 or 5 good blow-ups on the frog. Switched over to, I started with a frog NATO, or I always call it the frog NATO, the super NATO by Molex. And I started with that frog, has a little more kicking action to it. I had one finally rip the legs off of it.
Yeah.
So we had to get those back.
I think 90% of what we were catching were the bucks.
Right.
We didn't
Oh,
see
yeah,
anything
definitely.
hard and fry, but it definitely had to be some of the bucks being more aggressive, and everything had already done their business.
Yeah.
Pre-spawn, and every female we got was spawned out. So
Yep. Yeah, so it was definitely that, and then when we came to the Keys, we switched up and we both went to more of a traditional hollow body frog. You went to a river to sea and a live target. I was throwing the Stanford frog, which is the boom boom frog by what is that? Ima?
Sure,
Not Ima.
I
It's
can't remember.
anyways, it's the one. I think it's Stanford frog, but I think that's who makes it, and it's the boom boom frog
What we
or
froze
Fred
fished for
Bonus.
2 hours and probably got what,
Yeah.
12 bites.
Yeah, we got
We had a lot of good ones. I'm hoping you get to see those on camera. They should have come out. Everything looked good. But today was a fun day. I mean, this was 2 RV bass guys going out, having fun on Clearlake. It's a Friday afternoon. We got a storm rolling in, so it was going to be, we knew it was going to be a little tougher bite because there's a storm rolling in.
I was expecting it to be challenging and deep.
Right.
And it turned out not challenging, but a really fun day and all shallow.
Yeah.
And, you know, we stayed mid-lake, just mid-lake pretty much everything. Rattlesnake Arm, we went down in the Redbud Arm a little bit. We went down Fraser's, the furthest south we went, and we didn't go any further north than just a
sort of bay,
a little bay right past Shag Rock and just a little bit of a paradise water. That was it. Just stayed in some of that nice clear water. The water was real clear. And I think the warmest we saw was 66, 67 right in there.
It was about that. I think that bay back in Pirates was about the warmest water we had. It was one of the protected areas, so that was nice.
I was shocked at how few boats we saw, so that tells me there was probably a lot of boats up north.
Right. I got
they probably just stayed up there because I'm sure it's cracking up there.
Tomorrow and Sunday is 2 tournaments coming out, and I will tell you right here, right now, those guys are going to be. If this weather rolls in and this storm rolls in, they're in for a little bit of a challenge. It's going to be. The bed fishing will be almost non-existent, except, you know, unless you know exactly where they're at, you just want to blindly cast for them. There's a lot of fish on beds right now, so you can catch a lot of fish.
I think a person could have had some success just fan casting a single or a drop shot out on open flats.
Just moving it real slow across the bottom, and you probably would have caught.
Throw it out there, forget it's there, and I bet you could have some decent success.
Yeah, not all the fish were easy to see. This was actually a really tough. You had to know what you were looking for, and you had to see them because a lot of times when they were on those beds, it was like, is there a fish there? And you'd have to sit and wait and look, and then throw something out there, and finally it would move.
Another thing that changed on one thing, I haven't had that glide bait going.
Right.
I've gotten, I've been going out and getting 3 or 4 glide bait bites, and I didn't even get any followers today. It just it just was, it just completely turned off, and I fished it quite a bit too. So. Other than that, man, just one of those days you dream about where you just go out and have fun and make memories. It was a blast.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun out there. I mean, this is the second time we've come out. The first time the video sound didn't come out very well, and we only caught 1 fish. So it was a sad day.
I didn't think we were going to talk about that day.
I thought we agreed on that, but whatever. This is hopefully you guys learn a little bit about this lake on this one. It was a lot of fun. This is one of the funner videos I've done this year, and hopefully we have some more coming up in the future. As far as fun days, videos. We're gonna have plenty of those coming up. So
frog, fish, buzz, baby.
Yeah, I'm seeing this coming out here.
Turn on.
Yeah, we'll see if we can change up our video angles and stuff like that, and see if we can get some really good pictures with that, and we'll see what happens. So thanks for tuning in. Please, again, if you like what you're seeing, like and subscribe, share with your friends, and check out RV Bass. All our reports go up to written wise, and you can see those reports. Tons of guys writing reports, tons of guys putting out different information, and you won't miss by going with RV Bass. And,
we appreciate you guys.
Fishing.
Without you guys, we're nothing.
Yeah, appreciate you all out there. So thank you very much.
Peace out.